Hey everybody, happy Monday. I hope everybody had an awesome weekend. I know that it's probably pretty hard to do that right now when 50% of America is out of work, but I think that we're making strides to make the best out of all of this. I am looking for my video really quick in my photography group so we can share it to the mentoring group. One day I'm going to figure out how to go live simultaneously. You guys can just bear with me for a quick second. We're going to wait for this to come through and I am going to, oh, I see it. Yay. We're going to share it really quick, guys. All right, here we go. And almost there. I feel like I'm getting a little bit quicker at doing this. So you guys don't have to like sit around and watch me fumble with my phone. All right, so it's Monday. It is our live Q&A, and today we're going to talk about a few things. So I actually made some notes. There's a lot that I really want to talk about, but I'm probably going to have to narrow it down because we don't have a ton of time. But today we're going to talk about, briefly going to talk about contracts, and then I'm also going to talk about some practical things that you can be doing to move your business forward, even while we're in a place where we feel really stagnant right now. And please know that the comments are turned on. So if you have something to say, please, oh, hey, Francie, love you, girl. If you have something to say, please post in the comments. I am here to answer your questions. I am not a lawyer though, so I will give you the best advice that I can with the knowledge that I have. Hey Alexis, I missed you. Oh my gosh. I missed you guys so much. So I will give you the best advice I can to my knowledge. But again, like I'm not a lawyer. So, the first thing that I want to put out there is on Thursday for our Facebook Live at 4 o'clock. My girl Francie is going to be coming live with me to talk about everything financial. This girl is pretty freaking amazing and has been able to follow Dave Ramsey's knowledge and teachings to be able to pay off all of her debt and was able to prepare for a situation just like this. I'm sure that nobody foresaw a global pandemic happening, but she was able to prepare for this and has definitely given me some financial tidbits over the last few months. And she actually has a dedicated Facebook group where she teaches the principles that she's learned and how to apply that to your personal life and to your business. So it doesn't matter if you are in the wedding business or if you work a corporate job, doesn't matter. I would highly recommend popping onto that live at 4 o'clock on Thursday. And then I'm actually going to be posting a link. So anybody that wants to hop into her financial group to get all of this great knowledge that she has, you'll be able to pop in there. So it's going to be a pretty amazing resource for you guys. So hey Haley. So I highly recommend that you pop in. So Thursday, 4 o'clock, Facebook Live. Doesn't matter if you're in the mentoring group or on the photography page. I'm going to go live in both places and the link will be there for you to get into her group. So anyway, so I want to talk a little bit today about contracts for those in the wedding industry. And actually, it doesn't matter what industry you're in, especially if you are a small business owner. It is really important for you to have rock solid contracts when it comes to dealing with any type of clients. And it's something that I've had to navigate recently as I've had weddings reschedule and cancel, really going back to my contracts and seeing what the language is inside of that contract. I've had multiple attorneys review my contracts and to help me to decipher the language because I'm not a lawyer. But what I'm going to say is that I really highly recommend that, number one, if you're a small business owner, specifically if you're in the wedding industry, if you are not using contracts right now, you need to stop right this second. And with every person that books you from this point forward, you have to have a contract with them. It's not just to protect your business, but it's also to protect your clients. So that's my number one bit of information. If you don't know where to find contracts, the two places that I've seen popping up all over the place lately is the Law Tog. So if you don't know what that is, there's a Facebook group, Rachel Brinke heads up that group. She's a lawyer and she's created all kinds of resources for wedding professionals. So definitely make sure that you pop into that group. It's the Law, L-A-W, Tog, T-O-G. And she also has a website where you can pick up all types of contract bundles, addendums. Yes, and to protect your family and your personal finances. Yes, Francie. So you can hop in there and get all of that you need. So make sure moving forward that you have contracts for your clients. You can use a client management system to get electronic signatures for that. So there's a lot of things available. Dubsado is one of them. That's what I personally use that I absolutely love. You can use 17 Hats. I think Honeybook is another one that a lot of people use if you need a system to be able to manage those contracts for you. And by manage, I mean gather those signatures and easily get the contracts to and from your clients. So, so that is an option. But, make sure, again, that you are executing your contracts the same across the board for all of your clients. But I also understand that we are in like a really unique time, and different business owners are going to make different decisions when it comes to how they decide to execute with cancellations and with reschedules. So I'm not going to share what my personal opinion is on that, because I don't think that really matters. What I think that we all have to realize is, number one, like, this was not something that was foreseeable, this global pandemic. I mean, it's just absolute craziness. So, from one perspective, we all need to have a heart. And I'm not talking just about those in the wedding industry. I'm talking about the clients too, because we're in this together. It's not just affecting your clients that have to cancel or that have to reschedule, which is absolutely devastating and horrible. And yeah, my son is screaming in the background. It's my life. But it's also impacting the people in this industry, because I'm sitting here watching businesses crumble before my very eyes. And that is the most heartbreaking thing. These people actually are not sure if they're going to be able to pay their mortgage. They don't know if they are going to be able to put food on the table for their family. So I think that that is also something that has to be taken into consideration just as a human being when it comes to getting down to like the nitty gritty of how we're going to execute these contracts. So that's just my personal opinion about it. Again, I'm not going to share what my decision has been moving forward, because it's up to what you have written in your contract, the language, and how you feel is going to be the best way to represent you and your business and your clients. So, but I'm just talking about across the board. I would hope that every single person, regardless of how you're affected by this, if you are a couple trying to get married and you're having to make changes, or you are someone working in the wedding industry, to really, really take the time to sit down and think about what is the right thing to do. So that's all I have to say about that. Unless somebody has questions, then I'm happy to answer them. But again, if you don't have a contract, make sure that you start using them right away, and make sure that you get a rock solid contract that you're either purchasing from like the Law Tog or the Legal Page, P-A-I-G-E, the Legal Page. Or, if you have a contract in place, I think that now would be a good time to have an attorney look it over to make sure that you have everything in there that you need to have moving forward. So today I had a call with my coach, and there was some really good insight that she offered me today. And I don't think it's not an accident that I wore this shirt today, because I'll be honest, guys, like I'm having to continually remind myself of how blessed I am and how blessed a lot of us are, even given the circumstances that we're in. There are so many things to still be grateful for, even though we are seeing all of these horrible things happening before our eyes, I think it's really important to continue to remember like how much we do have rather than focusing on the lack. And today I was talking to my coach about how to kind of like navigate what it is that we're going through, and whether it's a good idea to try to move forward with certain projects or not. And she had said to me, which I thought was really smart, was that she was talking about momentum and how an object in motion stays in motion, and to not stop because the world seems to have come to a screeching halt. And that was exactly what I needed to hear today. And I wanted to deliver that to you guys today too, that because we're watching businesses come to a screeching halt and restaurants and jobs and all of these horrible things around us, that doesn't mean that we can't continue to move forward in other parts of our business to be able to ramp up to do an even better job once we come out of this, because this is not going to last forever. We do know that there is going to be a light at the end of the tunnel, and we're going to be able to move forward. But I would urge you to not make decisions out of fear and to stop. So like she had mentioned, an object in motion stays in motion. Being in motion doesn't necessarily mean that you are photographing weddings right now or you're photographing sessions. That could mean that you are up-leveling your skills, that you are learning things that are going to make you even better once we come out of the tail end of what is happening. So does that mean working on your contracts? Does that mean, practicing your skills, or, picking up some type of educational material to keep moving in the right direction, or, working on a new program that you wanted to come out with? It doesn't matter what it is. There are steps that you can be taking right now to continue that momentum, but just in a different way. So that's what I'm choosing to do. I am not actively photographing right now because, we're basically self-quarantined, but there are different things that I'm going to do in my business to make sure that I continue the momentum that I have and to be able to reach those goals that I've had in mind from the very beginning, and to also start implementing some of the things that were like future goals that I really wanted to do but didn't have the time to do, and now I do. So I would highly encourage you to sit down and write out what your goals are that maybe don't necessarily include, going out and photographing a wedding right now, but figuring out the ways that you can move yourself forward. Is it going to be around making your skills better? Then maybe you can schedule time each day to, photograph something in different lighting situations. Or maybe you want to get better at photographing wedding day details, and you are setting up something within your house so that you can, you take off your wedding band, or you find some shoes, or, you pull out your old wedding dress and you hang it up and you start taking photos. There are different things that you can do that are going to continue to keep you in a good mindset, give you some motivation, and continue moving that momentum forward for your business. So there's lots that you can do on that front. And then also, this is the last thing I'm going to talk about today, unless I get any questions, but I was in a photography group just scrolling through the endless questions that people have had regarding all of this, and getting sucked into the black hole of nothingness because it wasn't helpful. It was just a lot of opinions that really didn't mean a whole lot until I got to this one comment on this thread, because a lot of the comments were just based out of fear, and I've definitely caught myself in that mindset recently. And how can you not? But I don't even remember the girl who posted this, but she said that, and guys, like, it's no secret that I'm a believer. Obviously I've got my blessed shirt on today, so I can just continue to remind myself that we're going to get past this and we're still blessed regardless. So if you're not a believer, that's fine. But I this was a good reminder for me, and I just want to share it with you. But this is paraphrasing, but she had said that we serve a God greater than any retainer payment or any amount of money. And we really do. And that was something that I really needed to hear in that moment. Instead of making decisions based out of fear, I need to be making decisions based out of faith and what is the right thing to do. And I need to remember that no matter what happens, we're going to come out of this on the other side better people. And I'm going to share something with you. I wasn't going to talk about this, but I'm going to go ahead and talk about it really quick. So my husband and I went through the horrible housing crash of like 2006, 2007, 2008 timeframe. And we went through, this was before I was photographing full time. It was just a side gig for me at that time. And we both went through layoffs. First I did, and I was able to find another job. And while it was absolutely terrifying at the time, it was devastating. I had just had a baby and we had daycare expenses and we relied on both of our incomes. We still do, even now. I wasn't sure that we were going to be able to put food on the table or we were going to be able to continue making our mortgage payment. And it was absolutely terrifying. But I will tell you that through that experience, and I couldn't see it at the time because the future was so unknown, I ended up in a much better situation after that. The job that I had after that, what I was able to do after that whole experience, I came out of it making more money. I came out of it a lot happier than I was before, but I couldn't see that in the moment because I was too scared. I was too fearful to even think about what the amazing possibilities were coming for me after that. So fast forward to, I think maybe the following year, my husband got laid off from his job in home building. And that was equally as terrifying. He was given a severance package and told to basically hit the road. And it was so scary because there were no home building jobs at all available. And we didn't know what we were going to do because we still had to pay the bills. We still had to put food on the table. And here we were a year later having to deal with the same thing all over again. And let me just tell you, we made it through. We ended up in a much better situation after we got past it. We didn't lose our house. We were fortunate enough to not lose our house. We were able to put food on the table because we kept faithful the whole time and we kept moving forward. We didn't stop that momentum. We did not sit and give in to the fear that we had at that time because, guys, I'm not going to lie, it was scary. It really was. But I can 100% tell you that I'm so thankful for those situations that we went through because we came out of it way better than where we started. And it took that scary journey to get us there. But man, am I so grateful for where we ended up. And I'm not trying to sugarcoat the situation. Like what we were going through is awful and horrible, but you have to have a positive mindset and see what you have to be grateful for and do the work and put the steps in place to be able to come out of this a better person and a better business owner. So I hope that was helpful for you guys. And I know a lot of you have probably never gone through anything similar to this. I mean, the only thing that I can liken it to is the housing crash. I mean, obviously none of us have been through a pandemic. But I promise you that there are going to be good days ahead. And please don't give up on your dreams as you go through this. Please don't live out of fear. If you have a desire in your heart to move this business forward, then that's what you're meant to do and you need to keep doing it. So I hope that you guys will join us on Thursday at 4 o'clock for the Facebook Live where Francie is going to be talking about all the wonderful things that she has to share regarding finances. I will, like I said, post a link into her group so you can join, so you can see all the awesome information that she has to share. And as always, guys, you know, you can always reach out to me with any questions that you have. And if you just need some coaching and some mentoring during this time, then that's something that I offer as well. So please feel free to reach out to me if you feel like you need some help. And and I will see you guys on Thursday. Have a wonderful rest of your week, and I'll talk to you soon.